this is started. Have we gone live? Yeah, we've still got 2 minutes to 8. I've started a bit early. Anyway, I think I'll wait for all the audio files to come in. Is anybody in yet? Can anybody hear me? I don't know if my audio is okay. I'm trying something new, so I don't know if this is going to work. I'm trying some streamer app that I've never done before. And I am my own moderator today. My wife's not here to help me. I should most likely start these things a little later, actually. If anyone's there, you can say hi. I don't mind saying hi. I don't know what's happening. I can't track this on. Yeah, cool. Do we have anybody in who's wanting to chat? I'm happy to start my discussions. Oh, hi. Gyan Vigyan, hi. I hope I've said your name right. What's up? How are you? Your mobile doesn't give enough power. Sounds like you've got a line out issue. Are you feeding it from your 3.5 mm output? Three point five. From the Sonata, do you have? You should have a USB connection, so that should bypass your internal DAC. If you're using the 3.5 out of your phone, using your internal DAC, which is most likely not very good. So if you connect via USB-C, it should be fine. Hi Vishnu, hi. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the appreciation. I appreciate the appreciation. I enjoy what I do. It's fun. So since I've got you guys, what do you listen to? I'm sure some more people will start pouring in. What do you guys listen to? What's the equipment you're listening to? Vigyan's told me that he's got a Sonata HD Pro that he's having some issues with, so I'm sure there's a fix for that. You guys can hear me clearly, right? My audio is fine, it's coming through clearly. I think Sunday evening's a slow evening for a lot of people. But also the audiophile topic is slow, which is fine. I'm okay with slow. I'd rather take it easy today with audiophilia than talk about wireless stuff. Sorry. Hello, you guys there? I think maybe you guys have just dropped off. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome. I think I started a little too early. I should have started a bit later. I think everybody is caught up with their Sunday evening plans. Difficult to find and make time these days. Traces of You by Anushka Sharma. Let me write that down. Because if you guys are recommending stuff, I want to give them a listen. Traces of You, Anushka Shankar. Thanks for the share, Vishnu. Why are you afraid of me? What have I done to you? Hi Jeetu, I'm fine. How are you? Welcome to the live session. I'm not planning on having this up for too long. It depends on how the discussion goes, how fast or slow it goes. Basically, I honestly just want to talk to a few of you guys who are into the audiophile hobby and figure out the trajectory as to where I'm going to take my channel also, because I do want to start doing more audiophile stuff. So I just want to get a sense of where to go. So if you guys can open up about your experience with Audiophilia, what equipment you're listening to, what songs and music you listen to, it'll help me understand what you guys like. So ideally, I'd like to cater to that as well. And end of the day, it gives me time and space to learn something from you guys as well. Also, I hope my audio and video are coming through clearly. Last time I did have a problem for my first live session. I was supposed to have a lot more live sessions ever since that, but I've been a bit nervous about it since I'm still pretty new to the live thing. But I'm trying some new broadcasting software. I hope it goes well. I hope it doesn't fail like YouTube did for me last time. But let me know if you have any issues. Let me know in the comments. Traces of You was recommended by Vishnu. Is it okay to buy from Linsol? Well, to be very honest with you, I've never bought anything from Linsol, but Linsol is a very well known, can't say brand, but they are distributors. They are like, if you can relate with Headphone Zone here, they are on a more global scale. And Linsol, in fact, were the first guys to send me the Tangzu Warners. In fact, I did review the Tangzu Warner before Headphone Zone had them. And the guys at Linsol were kind enough to send me a set to demo and review. So I'd say you shouldn't have a problem getting from them. But if you are ordering from Linsol into the country, you might have the whole customs issue. Again, when it comes to the customs, it's a matter of luck. I know some people who haven't paid customs at all on some products, and some people who have paid a ridiculously high amount. So it's a matter of luck with customs. In fact, it's worthwhile if you're buying in India. It's worthwhile connecting with the guys at Headphone Zone, because sometimes I do think if they're getting a product, they might get it maybe 2 or 3, sometimes 4 weeks later. And if you buy from them, you don't have to worry about customs. Vishnu, you're using the KZ-ZS N Pro X. You know, I wanted to buy this after my review. Headphone Zone did send me that box, and it's the one set that really set me apart. It's the one set that I actually took out of the box, took out of my studio, and made my wife listen to, because it's the only set that made me really connect with it. I really like the KZ-ZSN Pro X, but if I get it, I'll have too many more headphones and earphones, and I know I won't do justice to it. I won't listen to it as much as I want to. But it's one set that it's a dream set that I wanted to own. Karthik Pai, yeah, I'm trying to avoid talking about TWS in this session, but I have reached out to Soundcore. It's a matter of them getting back to me now. So I'll wait and see, because they did send me something last year. They sent me some Sleep Buds, the Sleep A10, which were quite nice. Soundcore does do a good job with tuning their headphones and earphones. I have tested a set of headphones, I think the Q20s or Q20i or Q something, I forget the model name. It was a friend's, and I remember them going for around between 2 to 4,000 bucks for a set of headphones, and I didn't think they'd be much, but they do a very good job tuning soundcore stuff. So in general, I'd say their principles are in place. So I don't think they're making loud, obnoxious, heavy bass things. Soundcore should be okay to go for. But yeah, I will try and get my hands on them. I'll send them a few more mails to try and get some demo units. National Symphony Orchestra, Jungle Book. Yep, that's good stuff. Have you tried home theater systems too? Are surround sound systems good for music, or do they make music sound unnatural? That's a good question, Saitama. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I may have butchered it. I apologize if I have. But home theaters, in fact, I myself do enjoy home theaters, but I'm thinking about expanding into home theaters soon. But again, I'm in talks with a lot of people. But when it comes to your question in particular, it depends a lot on the permutation combination, what amp you're using, what speakers you're using, the room you're listening to it in. In fact, funnily enough, this is not something I was planning on talking about, but I wanted to make a separate video on it. I got a chance to listen to Yamaha's YSP 3000, or was it the 20? I think it was the sorry, not the 3000. It was the 25 or 2600 series. It was the last speaker surround sound bar that they made, and they've got like 43 drivers in that sound bar. And I demoed it at the Yamaha office, and of all the surround systems I've heard, 5.1, 7.1s, Atmos systems, that Yamaha sounded, it was the truest sounding speaker when it came to surround sound that I've ever heard. And I'm hoping that Yamaha brings it back. I think they stopped it because of the chip shortage that began some years ago. But there are whispers, there are rumors that they might be coming back. In fact, if ever you can demo a Yamaha YSP series with surround sound, just go ahead and do it. Make the time to do it. It's a completely different experience. For music, personally, I prefer, I'm not a big fan of 2.1 channels when it comes to speakers. I prefer 2.0. But you need to have a really good amplifier and really good speakers that can get to sub-low frequencies where you don't need a subwoofer. So what I listen to is just a 2.0 setup, and I've loved it. It's not a very new system, but it sounds terrific. Listen to Pink Floyd and okay, I'm writing this down. Pink Floyd and the Hurting. Tears for Fears. I'm listening. I gotta listen to this. It sounds interesting. In fact, why am I writing everything down? I might as well just screenshot it, no? I'm a bit old school, sorry. I'll just screenshot this. It'll make it easier for me. Yeah. Tears for Fears. Nice. Thanks for that recommendation. I'll give that a listen. Most audiophile reviews avoid KZIMs because of their tuning. Yes, I'm aware of that. But also, I'm not the kind of audiophile who likes to shoot down certain products. I'm not the kind of audiophile who wants to bash stuff because everybody has a slightly different taste. The tuning of the KZs that I've experienced, at least the ZSN Pro X, I found to be fun sounding. It is not analytical in any sense. For if I want to get analytical, I'm going to listen to my HD800s right there. If I can point to it correctly, right there. Yeah, it's not a properly mirrored thing, but if I want to get analytical, I listen to something like that. The KZ is a fun sounding thing. I like the ZSN Pro X because you can plug it in and go on the move. We go for a walk. It's a very fun sounding set, and it's superior sounding to me compared to a wireless set of earphones. So to me it's fun, and that's all that matters really. You need to enjoy your music. If you're not enjoying it, I mean, that's your scene, man. Like, if there are audiophiles who don't like it, it's up to them. But yeah, I'm not going to bash on a company because some other audiophiles don't like it. It's a personal preference. It's a matter of opinion. You have yours, I have mine. I mean, we should all respect each other's opinions. Salnotes 02 better than Salnotes 01. Jitu, that is a question I cannot answer because I haven't yet gotten my hands on the Salnotes 02, but I might consider asking the guys at Headphone Zone if they can send me both, because then I can do an in-depth review on the two, and perhaps I can do a comparison if I can keep those IEMs for long enough. I'll try that. Shootout, hi, what's new? Abhishek, how are you, man? Nice to see you here. Shootout between Yamaha and the Sennheiser Ambio. Well, honestly, I did mention that whole Yamaha YSP that I heard. I did go the very next day and listen to the Ambio. I have to say, man, it's Yamaha all the way for me. It's the Ambio just couldn't come close to it at all. KZ ZDX Pro, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask the guys at Headphone Zone if I can get a demo unit. I will write to them and ask. Yeah. The whole KZ glue coming off thing I've seen. In fact, I think the KZ ZSN Pro that I was reviewing it was a demo unit. It was, traveling the country and sort of going all over the place. It did show some signs. I think you can see it in some of the shots that I've made or shot and put in the review. But I'm sure if somebody's living with it, who has spent time with it, will know for certain if it's held up. So yeah, anyway, guys, we're a good 20 minutes into this live session right now. So let me ask you guys a few questions since y'all are here. Are any of you considering getting into or are already into vinyl listening? Do any of you listen to records? Because I'm toying with the idea of just talking more about records or record players in general, because I think a lot of people have been wanting to get into that hobby. And I mean, it's a whole different story altogether compared to digital, but I mean, the whole setup is entirely different, and I've been listening to records for years, and I mean, it's fun, but if you guys would like to know more about something like that, I'm happy to explore some more videos when it comes to those. I have made a video on a record changer about a year ago. If you haven't seen that, it's called the BSR UA70. It's a beautiful little machine. Feel free to watch that video if you haven't. But yeah, I mean, record players, it's a different experience. It's a different high. It's especially if you want to disconnect from your regular day-to-day stuff, come back from work and relax. The ritual of record listening, I think, is what kind of can disconnect you from all your worries, because that's the first thing you do. You have to take it out of the sleeve, make sure everything's fine. It's not too dirty. Put it on your record player, make sure everything's hooked up properly. So let me know if you are interested in that. Hi Matthias, nice to see you here. And that is extremely sad news. That is so sad, because I was looking around in India as well. I've called all the shops here. I've spoken to some of the guys at the Sennheiser office, and nobody has any parts for the HD700 anymore. Very nice set of headphones though. Very nice set of headphones. I quite enjoy them. Matthias, let us know what you're listening to. I'm sure you've got some good equipment at home, and what music you like to listen to. For the rest of you who are here, Matthias, I think he's one of my subscribers from my third video. I think I made a video on the Oppo Enco free, and ever since then he's been a subscriber, so he goes way back. Yeah, Abhishek. It's what's new. It's difficult to keep them. Once in a while, when I have the time, I go through my entire collection. I think I'm sitting on over 350 or 400 records, but I'll pull out maybe 10 records that I want to listen to, and I'll painstakingly clean them manually because I'm not spending a few $1,000s for record cleaners. I'll do it by hand. So I'll clean these 10 and then I'll go through them slowly until I've finished all 10. And the cleaning, of course, is to get rid of static and crackle. And then after I listen to all 10, then they go in a separate section of the shelf where I keep them, and then I go through another 10. So I keep circulating them. But yeah, it is a bit of a hassle, especially with the convenience of digital today. Hi, Suraj. That's a nice question. ZSN Pro, I haven't tested. ZSN Pro X, I have. I quite like them. Salnote Zero, I did enjoy, but they didn't impress me as much as the ZSN Pro X. The ZSN Pro X to me was fun, which is why I like them. The Blonde BL03 I did like because it's a nice warm sounding set of IEMs. I forget who mentioned this to me. In fact, he might be here on the chat. But somebody did tell me that the Truth Ear Hola has more bass presence than the Salnote Zero. I don't know how legitimate that is because I have not done any A/B testing between the two IEMs. So, but I would still recommend the Truth Ear Hola in particular because it's a very nice all-rounder. It handles everything it needs to very well. It's a very enjoyable set of IEMs to listen to. Beautiful finish for the price, terrific sound for the price. It's inoffensive. If you haven't gotten a chance to listen to it, I would highly recommend trying it out. If by chance you live in Bombay, I think you can give them a listen at the Headphone Zone studio. So you can consider those if you'd like to. Salnotes, I think they fixed that problem, but I think it had a glue issue with the faceplate. The entire silver faceplate has been known to just fall off at times. I haven't heard about any build issues with the Truth Ear Hola just yet. Deconi pads, I've not tried yet, but I was thinking of getting a set for my HD 800s because they're in better condition than my HD 700s. So I might consider restoring the HD 800s more than the 700s now. But I've heard good things about Deconi. Suraj, yes, I would recommend that. In fact, I just had this thought the other day. I reviewed the SimGot EW200, I've reviewed the EW100 DSP, I've reviewed the EM6L, and I've reviewed the EA1000, the format from SimGot. Very kindly, they've been kind enough to send me these as demo units. And something that got me thinking about each of the IEMs is that there is a progressive upgrade in detail, in texture, in stage, in imaging when it comes to each earphone. The more you spend. So I was thinking about a lot of people who actually, I've met some people who own maybe 15, 18, 20 sets of IEMs within the 2K range. And the thing is, these are slightly different flavors, so you will get slightly different tunings with each IEM. But instead of doing that, I would highly recommend saying, okay, if you have 10, great, but don't buy another 10, save up, and instead of buying 10 of those, use that money towards buying something that costs maybe 4,000 or 8,000 or even 10,000, because as true as diminishing returns are, only when you listen to it and experience it over time and over a few days, and let your ears and brain acclimate to all the details and everything that new IEMs can do, you will appreciate, even though, like I said, it's diminishing, you will appreciate those subtle differences between the more expensive IEMs and the more affordable ones. I would highly recommend the EW200. I genuinely enjoyed it for classical music, operatic music, anything acoustic. The other one I did really like is the EM6L, and the EM6L and EA1000 are much higher end IEMs, but I'm still new to the IEM game, so I'm getting used to these things. So with me, it's just I've reviewed stuff till the 4K range, and then there's a big gap, and then the 11,000 for the EM6L, and then 19,000 for the EA1000. So hopefully in a few months, I'll be able to answer you with better resolution. But yeah, consider spending a bit more. If you can stretch a bit more, but also I would recommend, if you don't have a dongle DAC, consider getting one. I've been using the iFi Go Link. It's a terrific little gadget. It really does a good job. Nitesh, hi. Thanks, man. Thanks for the appreciation. Matthias from the please don't blink for massive tag also tears refuse to. Nice, that's quite a spread. In fact, what I've been doing lately to discover new music, because I found myself going to a lot of stuff that I've been listening to for a long time, things that I've been exposed to for a very long time, things I heard growing up. So I'm trying to break out of the usual stuff and try and listen to new bands. So in fact, my neighbor was introducing me to a whole bunch of new stuff, and I think I might lose you as a subscriber, Matthias, but I just found out about, I mean, not just, maybe a year ago, I found out about Spyro Gyra. So I'm listening to some of their work and a few other bands that he's introduced me to. Because when my brother was listening to a lot of this, I didn't have the frame of mind to listen to heavier stuff. So for that matter, even when my brother was listening to Dream Theater and stuff, I was still in my boyzone phase. So it's taken me time to build the different artists that I'm listening to. So I'm still trying to grow when it comes to that. I want to learn about new artists and music. Nitesh, that's terrific to hear. I'm so glad that you want to be an audiophile, because I think I was sitting exactly where you are. I mean, I always knew I liked good sounding sound. I knew what a good sounding speaker was. I knew what a good sounding song was, a good recording was. Eventually, that's what led me in towards the whole audio hobby when it came to this. But I also did get into it professionally for a few years. But if you know you're noticing the differences, if you know that you are picking up on the nuances or appreciate the subtleties of, fingers scraping along strings, or an artist taking a shallow or a deep breath just before pelting out a sentence or a lyric with so much emotion. If you know you're focusing on these things, I'd say you, to a certain extent, already are an audiophile. You already are appreciating music. You are listening and feeling the emotion in that recording. So I'm happy to help. Feel free to drop comments in any of my videos. I usually reply to all of them. If I don't, somebody else will. But I mean, it's a fantastic hobby. It's good fun. Thanks, Suraj. Yeah. Meze 99 Neo. I'll have to listen to it, Prem. I don't want to give you any wrong information. I have not yet heard it. I've not yet, in fact, I've not yet heard any Mezes just yet. In fact, since it's just us audiophiles here, I've been in talks with folk at Headphone Zone for a while. I think I've been delaying it because I haven't felt too confident about doing it. But they've been very sweet with me, and they also want to start sending me more stuff for audiophile content. So I'll try and get my hands on the Mezes and hopefully be able to answer your question then. Nitesh, you're considering Nothing Here too. If you're looking at the Nothing Here 2 for features, it's a nice set, but I find it a bit too happy in the higher mid-range. It can be a bit piercing for me, but I think a lot of people have liked it, which is, I mean, it's a nice set. It details very well. It details significantly better than the first generation. But on a sound front, I happen to have this here. I'm working on a comparison. In fact, I've got the Earfun. Oh, wrong camera. I've got the Earfun Air Pro 3s or Air 3 Pros. These are really nice sounding. In fact, I prefer these to the Nothing. I prefer these to anything else I've compared it to. If you're in it for the sound, the Earfun has the fullness and enough detail where I would choose it over that. In fact, if you go to my in-depth review, you'll get a discount code for the earphone. I think with the discount code it goes for less than $5,000. So it's not great at or noise cancelling like the Ear 2 is. It's not got the fancy looks, but it does look premium. So feel free to have a look at my video and use that discount code if you do want to buy it. Thanks, Abhishek Bosnia. That's damn sweet of you. I think you're the first person to do this ever. That feels kind of cool, man. Thank you. Go to the channel, pay the bills, electricity stuff to keep this light running. Thank you. Sayantan, I recently discovered your channel and I like your take on audio device. Could you suggest some of your favorite music you play Spotify? Sayantan, I've been meaning to get down to making a music playlist, be it Apple or Spotify or wherever else. I just haven't gotten the chance. I wish I was doing this full time. I am not. I have other things that I do. I have other responsibilities. But someday I hope to make this full time, where I will be able to cater to these things like immediately when you ask. But I'm in the process of figuring things out. But I do mention all the music that I mention in my my videos. I always leave it in the description. So if you don't want to listen to them, you can always go into the description and check it out. But as for playlists and all, I'll figure out how I can make that and share that with you guys sometime soon. Cosmic Fairy Tale, Vishnu. I am screenshotting this so I can listen to this after this session. Do I have an RYM account? I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a bit of a fossil, but I'm not. I'm more into audio than I am with tech. So you can feel free to educate me, man. I have no shame in being ignorant about stuff. What will the year to Oppo Enco Air 2 Pro? Night Gamer, I have not tested the 235 NC. I do quite like the Air 2 Pro, but the Air 3 Pro is also a very nice set to own. But something I can tell you very honestly, in the last year and a half, since I started reviewing JBL products, I've had a whole lot of people mention that they've had issues with JBLs, where they've gone and replaced multiple units, not just the one. They've replaced up to 3 to 5 units from JBL. It is a headache. It is an inconvenience. I have not had any or heard of any complaints when it comes to Oppo. So if you want a no-nonsense set of earphones, wireless, go for Oppo. Now, keep in mind, these things are going to fail in a year, maybe 8 months, year and a half. If it fails within the year, a warranty should cover you. But those tiny batteries will wear out. They will not be able to hold charge eventually. And their life, I'd say, is just maybe maximum a year and a half. You're lucky if you get 2 years. Sayantan, yeah, you want to explore new audiophile grade music. What I do for audiophile music is I do stream a lot of stuff from Apple Music. But one thing I found personally is I have had moments where I'm listening to Apple Music. They charge $99 a month. I do listen to Apple Music, and the thing with Apple Music is there are times when I found that there's a sudden drop in resolution. It didn't seem right until I found out that Apple will suddenly drop bitrate speed if your data coming in is not too good. So it depends on your internet connection. I do wish that they sort of loaded the whole track and then played it back for you, but they don't do that. So because of that, I've started downloading my stuff from Apple Music itself. But before that, I used to buy a lot of my audio stuff from hdtracks.com. So you can go to hdtracks.com. I would recommend it. To begin with, download the HD Tracks sampler. I think they have new folders or new albums every year with mixed music. Download it, listen to it, because if you compare it to compressed music, you can tell the difference between compressed music and high-res music, and also good recordings or bad recordings. But keep in mind, it does matter. It does make a difference whether you're listening to this on a good set of earphones or headphones or a DAC and so on. You don't want that bottleneck. So there's no point listening to high-res music if you've got a bottleneck with your DAC or anything along that loop. Yeah, Matthias, I checked just yesterday. I think it's going to take some time because no, did I check it? Yes, maybe I checked it day before and it said it had loaded onto a container. So I do check it whenever I get the chance to log into my email for the channel. So I do keep a track on it now and then. I'm excited too. In fact, I think if it does surprise me as much as I think it does, I will want to make a video on it. Matthias and I are working on something, guys. So you might see a video about that. Vishnu, you're assuming too much of me, man. I'm taking a screenshot of your comment so I can listen to this myself. Chinmay, how much of a difference does lossless audio make? What's the minimum you have to spend to know the difference? I have 7 hertz legato and can't tell the difference between 160 and lossless. You can't tell the difference between 160 and lossless. Chinmay, what device are you listening to for one? In the sense, are you listening to a phone? Are you listening to a music player? Are you listening to a laptop or computer? From the laptop or computer, are you feeding into a separate device? So something that I've found is, in fact, I've recently picked up a MacBook Pro, and Apple had been touting we've got better amping system, better DAC, all this sort of stuff for high impedance headphones. I have listened to some IEMs and I've listened to some headphones through the internal on the Apple computer, and honestly, this thing I think goes for $4,000. The iFi Go Link. This does a better job. This does a better job than what's in the internals of the Apple laptop. It's more resolute. It amps better. The overall signal is so much cleaner. So I think it could be a factor of what hardware you're listening to. And end of the day, when you're in this kind of hobby, the main question you need to ask yourself is, where is my bottleneck? Why can I not hear the difference? And I'm not going to turn around and tell anybody that, oh, maybe you're not an audiophile because you can't hear it. It's not about that. Figure out where your bottleneck is first, and then when you're listening to it, don't turn around and say, oh, I can't tell the difference immediately. You never will. A lot of the times I've heard people put on earphones and put on another set and say, hey, my wireless ones are better. Sorry about ranting and all, but usually that is not the case. You need to sit down, let your ears and let your brain acclimate to the more data that's coming in. It's like doing 4K. If you're watching 4K and you move over to 480p, you can tell the difference immediately. Visually, it's always immediate. You can tell the difference because it's more relative. Whereas if you do it with audio, and you move from, take for example, MP3 lower res, say 160 kbps to lossless, you're not going to be able to tell the difference too much. If you do the other way around, where you've heard all that information in lossless and then go to MP3, MP3 will fall so flat. There's no detail, there is no richness, there's so much of information missing. So in this case, I'd say first figure out if you have a bottleneck somewhere. If you do have a bottleneck, try and eliminate that. After that, try and do the 160 kbps and lossless comparison. You're bound to hear the difference. Sorry for that rant. Good. Thanks, Nitesh. That's a very sweet comment. Thanks for the appreciation again. I appreciate the appreciation. I'm honestly, I know a lot of people wish me well. It's very sweet that you all want me to grow on YouTube and get a lot of subscribers. That'll be nice. But honestly, this is pretty much what I enjoy doing. I do enjoy helping people, and that's all that's important. If I need to grow, I'll grow. If I don't, I'm okay with it. It's fine. But thank you for your wishes. That's very sweet. Rate your music. Okay. Thanks for that. That's an abbreviation I never knew of. Can the iFi Go Link power Sennheiser HD560s? Honestly, I have tried the iFi Go Link with my Bears. My Bear Dynamic DT990s are 250 ohms. My Sennheiser HD700s are 150 ohms, and the HD800s are 300 ohms. The iFi Go Link certainly does a better job than if I were to connect it to my phone or old iPod. It has a much better DAC, it has a much better amp, but I'd say it's okay for something up to maybe 80 ohms, maybe not more than that. In that vicinity, honestly, its strengths are till maybe 30 to 50 ohms, 80 is pushing it. But when you, let's say even with the Sennheiser HT 700s, at 150 ohms, it does, as it is, those are not bass heavy, but when you plug into the hi-fi, there's lesser depth and it's a little more tinny, it's a little more shrill sounding with the hi-fi. So I don't remember offhand what the HT 560's impedance is, but if it's within 80, 50 ohms, it should be okay. But if you can get this kind of stuff, desktop amp, I've got a solid setup here. It's a Shit Lear 2. It's a tube amp. It's terrific, especially all those shrill sounds that you get from the 800 and the 700. The tubes do a beautiful job of rolling off, so it's not as aggressive as a lot of people find it to be with solid state amps. Do I like Rahman? Well, I've heard some stuff. I wouldn't say that I don't like his stuff. I've heard some stuff, but I think it has to do a lot with the kind of music that I listened to while growing up. I listened to a lot more Western classical stuff growing up, so I think my taste has moved more there. I did hear, in fact, I was converting a whole bunch of records for somebody years ago when I was into my whole audio engineering thing, and I was converting a record on Bhimsen Joshi, and he was absolutely unbelievable. So like the talent, the skill, unbelievable, really. Like I only appreciated it because I was older. So I think I need to revisit Rahman. In fact, I think I need to spend some time listening to his music and just really try and understand what's going on there before pushing him into a back burner, really. Yeah, Matthias, I have heard Tidal. In fact, when I went to the Sennheiser office, I did listen to their HD 820s, the HD 820S, or is it called something else? The close-back HD 800s. I did listen to the 660S2, which I think is a superb sounding set of headphones. In fact, I was toying with the idea of replacing the 700s with that. And they are a lot more affordable compared to what the HD 700s were. And the guy at Sennheiser was playing Tidal, and I did like the interface. And the sound somehow seemed fuller, it seemed cleaner, at least from the source. But I was listening through this whole setup with the dedicated Sennheiser DAC amp. So the headphones definitely were not lagging at all. Sorry for that. There's a lot of pressure horns near my studio. But I think Tidal is pretty good. But also over here, the subscription for Tidal is insanely expensive compared to Apple Music. And honestly, if I did have more time to sit and listen to music more and enjoy it, I wouldn't think twice before subscribing to Tidal. But I think I'll hold off until I do have time. Gigabyte. Gigabyte, you want an upgrade on the Air 2 Pro? Consider the Earphone Air 3 Pro or Air Pro 3, whatever they're called. I've got a review on this Gigabyte. It's a very nice set of IEMs. Very well tuned. If sound is your priority, this is the way to go. Have a look at my video on it. There's a discount coupon code which should bring it below 5,000 right now, I think. But give it a look. It's a very nice set. Check out my in-depth review if you haven't already. Chinmay, I have the Poco F5 which has high-res audio support. I did it was just louder, no difference in audio quality. Then Chinmay, maybe it's possible the IEMs aren't as resolute as I thought they would be. That's a possibility also, because there is a bottleneck somewhere there. Did you do have you been listening to lossless music for a while? Are your ears and your head and your brain absolutely used to listen to lossless music? Because you should be able to walk into a room and tell that somebody's playing compressed music if you've been listening to lossless for a long time. Melomaniac, thank you. Cyan, yeah, I'd say so. $300 IEM I have not yet reviewed, but oh man, this is a loaded question. So I did mention earlier that I have reviewed the SimGot EW200, which goes for, that must be a $30 IEM actually, this EW200. And I've also reviewed the EA1000 by SimGot, which is maybe a $220 IEM. Diminishing returns, I mean, obviously, if you say look at your table and you don't have a set of IEMs and then you have a set of IEMs, whether they're $300 or even $20, it's better than not having anything. But then when you compare the $30 IEM to the $200 IEM, there will be diminishing returns, but the characteristics will change a bit. Like what I did notice so much with the EA1000, which I genuinely do like, is the fact that the way it handles the naturality of it in its delivery, the textures it has, the timbre, the way it handles its presentation is so much greater than a $30 or a $20 set of IEMs. For that matter, I even reviewed the EM6L by SimGot. That goes for around, how much is 11,000 in rupees going to be in dollars? Say around $150 or $120. I still prefer the EA1000. It's not just because it's better looking or because it's more expensive. Just if I did a blind test between the EM6L, EW200 and EA1000, sorry, the naturality of the EA1000 is the way I'd go. So if you do have the money to spend like $300 worth, I'd say do it, because if music is something that is an absolute passion to you and you just want to unwind at the end of the day and forget all your sorrows and connect with an artist or connect with lyrics or connect with the way somebody just glides horsehair over a violin string, it's the way to go. There's no point spending $100 if you have the $300 to spend. But of course, it makes sense to have a good DAC and amp as well, so you can really drive those IEMs well and bring out its true potential. Gigabyte, I normally don't answer questions like these, but if you want to know what my profession is, you'll see it right there. Hi Wilson, nice to see you here, man. If you guys don't know, let me tell you who Wilson is. Wilson's also one of the original subscribers I've had, and it's thanks to him that I got into the whole IEM thing. I was always into headphones and speakers, but he sent me his KZ-ZS10 Pros with 5 dynamic drivers per IEM, which totally blew my mind. And after that, he sent me his Moondop Arias. So I got into the whole IEM game because of him, and it's because of those 2 videos I think that Headphone Zone saw and appreciated my content and agreed to start sending me demo units. So that's Wilson right here. So let me get down to reading your comment. Oh God, roadmap and all. Yeah. I'll make a video on that, or we'll chat. We'll talk. Nitesh, I've got an English channel. Let's leave it at that. Any more recommendations from you guys? Any more music? I think Wilson recommended some good stuff to me on one of my videos when I made a video about music, because I want to start doing that as well. I want to start making some videos about music recommendations and generally certain artists to listen to. Somebody I'd recommend, in fact, I think I've mentioned Pomplamoose on some of my channels. They make some very groovy stuff. Pomplamoose ties up with some, not very well-known artists, but they make some beautiful music. It's usually a whole bunch of covers. They are found on YouTube. Yes, I know YouTube is compressed, but the thing with their stuff is it is beautifully recorded. It is genuinely beautifully recorded and beautifully mixed, and it's a very enjoyable listen. They are also available on Apple Music. Some of their stuff is, I think it comes on YouTube first, and then they might release on Apple Music. But give Pomplamoose a listen. Pomplamoose is Pomplamoose. Oh, Live recordings. Oh man, the thing is, I have not looked for them when it comes to digital, but I used to, many years ago, I used to just pick up live concert DVDs. So I've got uh, more DVDs than Blu-rays. I've got the Eagles, I've got Dream Theater somewhere, I've got, oh man, a whole lot of stuff, some country music and so on. So I think physical media is going to make a comeback now after what's happened with Sony. Because that's what everybody is going to do anyway. So consider looking for live stuff in physical media form. That's always better to own. And overall, the quality is better. You're not going to have buffering issues if you're reading off of a disc. So if you do find any stuff, in fact, Vishnu, let me know where you found it, how you found it. Let me know in the comments, or you can also message me on Instagram, although I'm not too active there, but I'll see your message in a few days or weeks. But YouTube is the quickest way to get me. Why don't I review neckbands? I've reviewed 2 neckbands. I reviewed a Realme, which was my first review, and I reviewed a Yamaha. And a big reason why I don't review neckbands is because I've decided to stop buying things, because as you can see, there's too much audio stuff in my studio. I don't want to tell you how much is in my house, but if I get anything else, my wife will kick me out. So I don't want to risk losing not living in my house. And if a company were to send me some neckbands, I most probably would review them. But the few that I have tested, in fact, when I went and spent some time at Yamaha, I did listen to the is it called the, I forget the model name. There's a neckband with the number 30, with the number 50 and the number 70. I've reviewed the number 70. I did review the 30 and 50 and preferred the 50, obviously, but usually I stay away from them, because also they're not something I'd use. The wireless stuff is something I know if I buy, I will use it, and it won't go to waste. I don't like seeing things going to waste. No, Nitesh, I don't. Let me leave you guessing. Hey, listen, guys, we're not here to roast me, okay? We're here to talk about audiophilia. We're here to talk about what we're listening to. Okay, gigabyte, you're referring to 320 and lossless. I think a lot of people don't understand what 320 is and what lossless is properly, because it's, I have heard some 320 kbps recordings that sound good because they're good recordings. I've also heard some lossless audio that sounds worse than MP3 because it's a bad recording and just exported in FLAC or whatever format you listen to when it comes to lossless. So it's a matter of experience. If you can sit with somebody who understands this, if I meet you for that matter, Gigabyte, if I meet you at a Headphone Connect event, I'd be happy to sit with you and make you listen to what lossless is and compressed is. I always keep compressed audio on my music player. So when I meet people that ask this question, I can show them the difference. And the thing is, everyone can hear it, because all of us have sensitive ears. We've all evolved to have sensitive ears. We can tell phasing very well. We can, in fact, something I realized the other day when I was doing something, I dropped something while I was on my desk, and it was some small screw that I was putting back, and I didn't see where it went, but I was trying to stay sharp as to where it fell, because when something falls and makes a noise, you can tell where the sound is coming from. That's a matter of phase. So if you can tell where the sound came from, don't look in the direction of where the sound came from, and not, oh, I don't know where it went, and then you're hovering everywhere. So everybody has this phasing thing. Everybody has sensitive enough ears. It's just a matter of, are you interested in getting into the nuances of audiophilia and music or not? Soul Hunters. I'm screenshotting this, Matthias. I will check out Soul Hunters. Hi, Sridhan. Nitesh, no, it's all in good humor, man. No offense taken. We're just having fun. Dan, you're talking about Dan. Who Dan? You're not talking about Darko Audio, no? Let me check. Darko, I've been following for a long time. He's got terrific stuff. Dan's audio reviews, however, I have not. I'll check out Dan. Sridhan, thanks for the suggestion. I'll check his stuff out. But honestly speaking, since I can be candid with you guys, I usually don't watch other reviews before reviewing anything that I review, because I don't want my take to be, I don't want it to get influenced. I don't want to see somebody else's review in text, or I don't want to see somebody else's review in video form. I like to spend my time. In fact, a lot of people who send me earphones and IEMs, you normally say, oh, we want it done in so many days, or, this is your target. So I usually just tell them, listen, if you give me targets, I'm not interested, because I like to sit with a set of earphones for at least 3 to 5 days and listen to them. And usually when I've spent enough time and they've done their burn-in and so on, only then do I sit down and start writing the script. And, really, I like to write a script because I like to let you know exactly what I think about it. Because if I do ad-lib, I'm going to forget a lot of the stuff that I wanted to say. So that's where I come from. But I'll check out Dan, since you recommended him. I'll check out his work. Hari, I have not been to any headphone connect in Chennai, but I'll see. I'm going for the connect event in Bangalore in Jan. I think it's happening in Jan. I'll see how it picks up. I'm trying to see how the my community picks up when it comes to the whole audiophilia aspect of it. And I don't know if there are enough people who want to meet me. I'll figure out how I can get there and where I can stay and how to get back to Bangalore. I'll figure it out. It'll be fun. Sayan, NPR audio test. NPR on YouTube you're talking about? I think I've heard some of this stuff. It's very good recordings, but you can tell there's compression since it's on YouTube. Neckbands because between Oppo Enco Air 2 Pro, Realme Buds Wireless 3. Yeah, Shadab, I'm not too sure, man, about neckbands right now. I wouldn't want to give you any wrong information. Atharva, Steely Dan has got the best mixed music that I've heard. Like the attention to detail these guys have got is unbelievable. In fact, if you go and read about them, I think 1 or 2 tracks they've spent or done multiple takes where they've gone even over 260 takes because they wanted to get it absolutely spot on. So Steely Dan is unbelievable. If you really want to appreciate a good recording and a good mix, Steely Dan is the way to go. Karthik, okay, that's interesting. I'll check that out. Karthik, what IEMs are you listening to? No, Nitesh, you're not irritating anyone, it's fine. Gigabyte, you're asking me about Hindi songs. I think the only Hindi song that I've ever recommended on my videos is Maula Mere Maula from the whole Anwar movie. I have very few that I listen to. So, and usually it's for testing, and they usually have very good recordings. So, I only stick to those. Best earpods for ambient mode that can be used instead of hearing aid. That's a loaded question, man. That's hearing health I wouldn't want to comment on. It's not something I test. But I think hearing aids have come a long way. If you need a hearing aid, you should consider using a hearing aid, because these things are not made to be hearing aids. They may cause more damage than help you at all. So it's worthwhile seeing somebody who can give you a good hearing aid for the long run, because not having proper hearing can lead to other issues going forward. So it's worthwhile treating hearing health with utmost priority and concern. Vishnu, yeah, Interstellar is, man, Hans Zimmer is something else. Karthik, yeah, the Warners are, the Tangzu Warners are terrifically resolute. They're a very impressive set of IEMs for the price. It's unbelievable that they cost as much as they do. It's really unbelievable. Okay, so yeah, let me ask you guys again. I don't think anybody responded. Is anybody willing or wanting to get into vinyl listening, into record listening? Is anyone wanting to invest in a record player to listen to records on speakers or headphones or IEMs? Is that something you're considering? If it's something you'll want to know about, I can expand on that, because I mean I've been spending a lot of time with records for many years, and it's a part of the audiophile hobby. And I'm thinking about expanding when it comes to content as well. So if you want to know about that, let me know. Yeah, Steely Dan is the way to go for testing. It does a really good job, Atharva. In fact, again, I had mentioned earlier that I'm learning about new albums and new artists, and I heard about, because of, again, my brother being much older than me, I didn't, our tastes didn't line up when he was listening to good stuff and I was listening to Boyzone and stuff while we was quite small. Steely Dan is a band I heard about maybe only 4 years ago, and they're something else. They really are something else. Wilson, I knew you'd say yes. You've been after me for a while. Yeah, okay. I'll figure it out. Figure that out. How did I get into audiophile listening? I don't know. I've just always had. I've liked music. I play a few instruments myself, and when you start realizing that you like the smaller details and nuances in music, you start looking for them. And when you start looking for them and you can't find them, you try to find out how you can find it. So one thing led to another, and for a long time I was into only analog listening. In fact, I've just restored my old cassette players, and I've got my old Sony Walkman over here, which I'm planning on restoring soon. It just so happens that I've got a neighbor who's very good with all this stuff. In fact, I've got an old cassette here as well. This thing's actually in good condition. So I've always listened to analog music, and basically I never wanted to venture into digital, because I always felt it wasn't up to the mark. It was always compressed. But in 2014, I met a colleague of mine who noticed that I was looking for things in music and said it's not available in digital. And he introduced me. He said, "No, Paul, you need to see how far they've come in audio." So that's when he actually introduced me to Lossless. Otherwise, I was sticking to my tapes. I was sticking to my records, all the old vinyls I have. And that's pretty much how I got into digital. And it's only been getting better since then. Since 2014 till now, it's almost 10 years. And within the last 10 years itself, digital audio recording, mixing, mastering has evolved so much. I can't even say that there's too much of a difference between analog and digital now. And funnily enough, records today that are pressed are basically digital, because everything is recorded in digital now and pressed onto the records in an analog form. I wanted to venture. Atharva, it's okay if you're only a college student. You don't have to venture into it tomorrow. Maybe a year or 2 years down the line, if you've ever thought of it, I mean, I don't mind making some content on it. You can always come back to it a year or two down the line to revisit, so you'll know what to do. I'm happy to help. The whole point is to spread the love, spread the message. Sridhan, why don't I review home theaters or soundbars? I'm in the process of it. I've been talking to a few people. I've been trying to see if I can get my hands on them. I'm not a very big face. I'm not a very big YouTube channel. I'm still considered to be a very small fry, and I'm okay with that. So I've been getting a lot of no's from a lot of manufacturers, which is fine. It'll happen when it needs to happen. But I will expand when the time is right. Chinmay, I'm screenshotting your recommendation. Fleet Foxes of Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen, of course. Fleet Foxes I haven't. Let me screenshot what you said, Atharva. And thank you for that recommendation. So do any of you plan on at some point expanding to headphones, or are most of you into in-ear monitors only? I think majority of my viewership has been just wireless earphones, so I've focused on that most of the time. So I've been wanting to shift over to more audiophile stuff for a while now, because this is where the joy is for me. Diana Kroll, of course. Caroline, okay, this one I will have to check out. Okay. Thanks for that, Sayan. Are any of you in Bangalore by any chance? I have not tried the Chew 2, no, not yet. I have tried the first gen Chew. They were nice, but they were a little too bright for me. Upper mids, highs were a little too on the shrill side. The Chew first gen was fine for 15-20 minutes of listening time, but not more than that for me, at least. So anybody who wants that, the Chew first gen was good, but Chew 2 I've heard some good things about. I'll try and get my hands on them as well. Audio Technicas, which Audio Technicas do you have? They're a nice set. Those are also everlasting headphones. I know people who had Audio Technicas for, oh gosh, well over 10 years, going strong. They very rarely fail. Shadab EDX Pro. I have not heard the EDX Pro, so I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about that foundation, as in what you're referring to. But between the Warner and KZ ZSN Pro X, that's a difficult one. I'd choose the KZ ZSN Pro X for more fun sounding music because its edges are a little more rounded. It's a little more punchy in the bass. It's generally a more fun sounding set of IEMs to listen to. The Tangzu Warner, on the other hand, I found myself using more towards classical music for critical listening, because it's terrifically detailed for a set of IEMs in that price range. I think it hits way above its weight when it comes to its detail recovery. So I think you need to figure out what you want. If you're looking for, if you want detail in criticality for your music, the Warner is the way to go. If you want a little more fun sounding stuff with rounded edges, the ZSN Pro X is perfectly fine. Is it okay to buy JBL 230 on Flipkart? Rana, I've had a few. I'm not saying this still exists, but I've had a few comments saying that the 230 NC has had charging issues. One of the earbuds doesn't charge, and then they have to clean up the contacts, and then it works for 2 days and doesn't work, and then they go and get it replaced by JBL, and then the same thing happens with the second product and the third product and the fourth, and then they say, oh, you can upgrade to the Tune Beam. Then you trade it in and pay a little more for the Tune Beam, and so far the Tune Beam hasn't had too many issues. So basically, if you're willing to do all that, go for the 230 NC. If you don't want all that nonsense, go for the Tune Beam. The Tune Beam I quite like. It's a very nice set of wireless earphones. Fun sounding. Karthik, yeah, the M20X is a rockstar set of headphones. It's can't go wrong. These are actually studio grade. They've made the whole M series for they're monitoring headphones, so they're quite good. Sridhan, you're into IMs and audiophile soundbars. What do you mean by audiophile soundbars? Please educate me. I'm happy to seem ignorant on this topic. Oppo Enco A3 Pro is not available? Is there a supply shortage or something? I don't know. I've not kept a track of stocks. But I did like the Air 3 Pro over the Realme 5 Pro sound-wise. If you're into features, the Realme makes more sense. But Air 2 Pro is also not much of a slouch, yeah. It's a nice set to own. In fact, my set is well over a year and a half and it's working fine. Which instruments do I play? Well, I learned how to play the mother of all instruments when I was much younger. I learned how to play a piano, and I still play, when I have the time, I play an acoustic one. And being the mother of all instruments means once you understand the piano, you can pick up anything else. So I dabble a bit with the guitar, I dabble a bit with anything else, some wind instruments when I get the chance. I've got a few. I won't list all of them out, but when I have the time, I fiddle with playing music. Best DAC for smartphone. I have ZSN Pro X. Hi Syed. I am using this one, the iFi Go Link. Feel free to go and check out my review on this. It's a very nice little set, a very nice little DAC amp. It's done very well for all the IEMs I've connected to it, whether those IEMs are for 1800 rupees or 20,000 rupees. It's a very good sounding DAC amp. I would highly recommend it. Sridhan, have you listened to Fat Freak Maestro? No, I have not, but just judging by the name, I want to go and listen to it now. It sounds fun. How much have I spent for lossless listening? Apple Music wise, I presume you're talking about the files. Apple Music wise is just $99 a month. And when I used to buy stuff, each album of HD tracks cost as much as a record or a CD did. So each album was anywhere between 800 to 1200, 1500 bucks per album. But the thing is, with HD tracks is you own that media, you own that file. Whereas if you've been following what's been going on with Sony, they've just revoked a whole bunch of content that you technically owned. So, I mean, I'm not saying Apple will do this, but if they do it and you have downloaded media and Apple decides to shut shop with their music, then all the stuff you've downloaded has gone because you've just been paying for a subscription. You do not own what you've paid for. So, which is why it's important. I'm getting back into the whole buying of CDs and records again because I think it's going that way for most companies. CCA Rhapsody. I'll see if I can get my hands on those. No problem, Shadab, that's fine. Chinmay, I'm planning to upgrade to headphones. Can you make a dedicated video on diminishing returns and what percent of streamer, preamp, DAC amp, cables? Very interesting, Chinmay. I can make a feature story on this, and it's something I can talk about because it's something I've been wanting to talk about. Diminishing returns is a very real thing. I'm happy to do that. Ho- um, maybe, maybe this year itself. I might come out with a video before the end of the year. Okay, thanks for the clarity on that, Sridhan. So I have heard some Sonos soundbars or speakers, and honestly, like considering what I've heard, um, soundbar wise, the thing is, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned this before, but I had earlier in the year or in the middle of the year, I had gone and listened to a discontinued Yamaha speaker which had 43 speakers within one bar. And the thing is, if you dig back a bit, I think Yamaha may have been one of the first, maybe not the first, but one of the first few who really kind of tried to reinvent the soundbar. So when it comes to that in particular, when they did that, they tried to do something different. It wasn't just multiple speakers. It wasn't just multiple. Sorry, this is my wife. It wasn't just multiple speakers in a bar for the sake of having multiple speakers in a bar. These speakers were differently laid out, and the thing is, Yamaha played around with a little bit of phasing. So not every speaker fired at the same time. So because of phasing, it was able to broadcast a massive stage. So when I say massive stage, I mean the speaker must have been about 4.5 feet wide. But when you sit in the dead center, listening spot, dead center phantom channel as you'd expect from a 5.1, but the left and right height was literally from ceiling to floor. It was as if there were massive towers in front of me, and they had some reflective panels at the back for the surround. There were no speakers there. It was just a reflective panel because the speakers through phasing were bouncing sound off of different surfaces. So because they were doing it in such a way, the timbre off of this was so true. It was so realistic. I've heard a lot of surround systems with dedicated speakers, Atmos speakers, and so on. But this speaker in particular really blew me away. In fact, I was chatting them up about asking them when they are planning on bringing it back, because it is different. It is it is truer. In Yamaha terms, they are obsessed with true sound, and they very much did it did make me feel very connected. In fact, I usually don't get emotional. I usually don't get goosebumps when listening to music. Very few products do that for me. Headphones, IEMs, speakers. That one Yamaha speaker did it for me, and it was unbelievable that I was able to connect with that speaker so easily. So hopefully they'll bring it back. I think there are some whispers and rumors about bringing that technology back with upgraded hardware. So we'll see how it goes. No, I'm not I'm not really into hip hop. I used to be when I was a bit younger, but I lean more towards jazz and blues now, which it gives me a kick now more than anything else. And once in a while, I lean towards classical and operatic stuff. I do the regular Steely Dan stuff, Dream Theater stuff. I've been enjoying. I don't know if you guys have seen the video on Chad Smith on the drums playing 30 Seconds to Mars. What song was that he covered? But yeah, I hope I remember. I'll leave the link down in this video. You can maybe watch it after this video ends. But it's a very enjoyable, it's a jam session basically what he does. But yeah, I do like more acoustic stuff in the sense I stay away from the electronic stuff a lot. And I presume again, since nobody replied, I guess nobody's on. Nobody's in Bangalore, because I was thinking if any of you are in Bangalore, I am definitely going to go for the headphone connect event, and we can catch up there as well. It'll be fun. And also, I have been on this live stream for almost 1.5 hours, so I should think about signing out. Art Blakey, nice. Yes, I have. But it's been a while since I've heard it. I think I'll revisit it. Atharva, I will revisit that. Okay, guys, I hope you guys had fun. I've had a ball. It's been nice connecting with you guys. I've never felt too confident doing lives. I'm just trying. It's again for me. It's still something new. This is only my second one. But if you guys would like more sessions like this, let me know. Leave comments in some of my videos also. If you just want to have a chat about something. If you guys want more live sessions, also let me know. It'll be fun. I'm happy to do it and take some time to chat with you guys and learn from you as well. So I think I should log out now. Otherwise, I'm going to get a few more knocks on my door. But yeah, thank you all for being here, and thank you for being a part of this. Every one of you. I think a lot of you are my regular guys on all my videos. I've seen your names before on a lot of the video in the comments. Which IMs or TWs are my favorite? My current favorite, honestly, is the Earfun Air Pro 3. It's very nice sounding. And my current favorite IMs are right here. These have absolutely blown my mind. If you've not seen my review on this, you have to. These are the SimGot EA 1000. Not only are they beautiful, but they sound absolutely amazing. I mean, of course, they're expensive. They're not exactly affordable. But if you're asking me what's my affordable favorite, I'd say the Truthia Hola. They're really nice. Cool. So we're cool to sign off. Grace. Okay, I will sign. I'll try and do a few more in the future. Thanks, Tarva. That's my wife. What, you want to give me the Christmas mug? Give me the Christmas mug, Dion. Oh, God. She knocked because she wanted to give me some hot chocolate, I think. Anyway, cool. I'll go and have some hot chocolate and maybe watch a movie tonight before crashing. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. It's always fun to talk to you, and if you guys have any suggestions for any audiophile content, let me know going forward, because like I mentioned, I will be speaking to the guys at Headphone Zone, and I'll be trying to get more audiophile products to review, and I want to branch away, I mean not permanently, I want to branch away from the 2K price range a bit, because there's a lot of stuff in the 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 and so on price range in Audiophilia that has really caught my eye, and I'd like to see how what's happening in that area in the market right now. So I'll be doing that. But of course, maybe I'll put out polls and see if you guys want certain comparisons, or you guys can leave comments in the community or even videos. Feel free to do that so I can get a feel for what you guys want to watch. Harry Z. Headphone Zone will most likely have a Headphone Connect event in January. I'm not sure where they're having the event. They'll let us know close to the date. But headphonezone.in is a website where you can buy IEMs and so on. You may have already. I'm sorry if I'm taking you that far, but Headphone Zone has some really nice stuff. They bring in a lot of good audio equipment, so it's worthwhile checking them out. And if you land up at the Headphone Zone Connect, Headphone Connect event, they call it. If you land up there and you see me, come say hi. I'm happy to chat and share the joy of audiophilia. Thanks, Gigabyte. I don't think I'm much fun to talk to in live, because I'm just talking to a screen, so, and looking at your this thing. Cool, guys. So I think I'll sign off. It's been about an hour and a half. I thought this would only be about 50 minutes to an hour, but maybe we can do a session again. Yeah, Matthias, it is amazing, isn't it? And it's amazing that I've been talking to you for the last 3.5 years and I still don't know what you look like. Cool, Shidan, I'll do that. Cool, see you guys. I'm off then. All the best to you. Stay happy. May you always find music that gives you goosebumps. And I'll see you in the next live session, or feel free to say hi in any of my videos. See you guys. And thanks for tuning in to Paul's POV for some sound advice. Bye.